All right, there it is. And we're live, Luke. It's good to see you, man. Just ahead of time, I wanted to warn everybody. Luke's having some slight internet issues over there, and so he's going to look like kind of stop motion animation for a little while. But we're going to forge ahead because we're having fun. Yeah, because we're going to have fun talking about helmets and going with that.
Everybody.
So, yeah, Luke, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good, thank you. Bit of a crazy weekend so far, but I'm good.
Yeah, if there's anything I can identify with, it's the same here, man. I'm glad it's Saturday and I can finally get to talk some Star Wars helmets with a great guy like yourself. So thanks for agreeing to do the show with me, man.
No problem at all. Yeah, really excited. Pleasure.
And also, we have to give a quick shout out to Tez Rollins over at Reynolds Reviews for the great icons and background you see behind us and that great lead in. So thanks, Tez. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, Tez.
And with that, real quick, Luke, we're going to say hi to some people that have joined us, if you don't mind, real fast. There's Brandon.
Absolutely.
There's Brandon over at Apprentice Ewok. Good to see you, Brandon. There's Christian.
Hey,
Ooh, pretty. Yeah.
Christian.
Yeah. So I'm sure he's going to have some really sassy, sarcastic things to say, hopefully, in the chat today.
I can imagine. I'm on dial-up again, Christian.
Yeah, pick on Luke, Christian. He's the one without the internet connection today. There's Thousandth Ghost, so many helmets. Yeah, thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. Hopefully, we're going to get some in-depth look at some of them too. And then there's Christian once again. Well, thanks, Christian. We appreciate it, man. We've been looking forward to doing this for probably a couple of months, if not probably since late last year. We've been talking about doing something like this, right, Luke?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, we had a discussion, possibly around Christmas time. So, yeah.
Excellent. That was back when your internet was working. Just kidding.
Yes, I'm going to have to look into this because it's happened a few times now. It's not good.
Fair enough. But you know what? As long as we can talk into grabbing some helmets and sticking them close to the camera, I think everybody will be happy.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So there's Star Wars Collectibles. Good to see you. Hey, Mark Shabby, thanks for stopping by, man.
Shabby, good to see you.
And Shabby, as you can see, we're using stop motion animation, Luke, tonight. So, but Luke, I wanted to start off with just doing some overall stuff or talking about some overall topics before we got in depth on the helmets. And one of the first questions I wanted to ask you was what got you into helmet collecting? What kind of started you down that road until you ended up where we see behind you now?
I think I would probably say it was when I obtained my Stormtrooper armor, which obviously came with the Stormtrooper helmet. Now it was all to put together. I got it as a kit, so it came quite literally in flat plastic sheets with all the armor molded into it, so it had to be cut out, strapped together, shaped, etc. And that included the helmet. Now the helmet came in 3 pieces, which had to be bolted together, a little bit of painting, eye lenses, etc. And when I managed to, it took me on and off around 2 years to finish the build. But then, of course, once it was finished, when I wasn't wearing the armor was packed away, but I displayed the helmet because I thought it was a shame to pack the helmet away. So I displayed the helmet. And obviously I used to enjoy looking at it and thinking, wow, it just looks great on display. And then it was just a case of wonder what else you can get. So I started looking on places like eBay and just sort of Googling 1.1 scale helmets. And before you know it, I found, I think possibly the first one I came across was the Black Series Kylo Ren helmet. And I remember just before Toys R Us went out of business, I picked that up. And then that led to another one, that led to another one, and so on until you see what you see behind me. So, yeah.
Fair enough. They are kind of like potato crisps, as you guys call them. You can't just do one, right?
Yeah. And it just became a little bit of an addiction for a while. So, yeah.
Now, which is the Star Wars helmet that you're talking about that you built? Is it in the case behind you?
It is in the case. I can grab it, but as you're looking at the screen, it's the very far top corner Imperial Stormtrooper there, I think. That one.
Okay. And you said that's made out of ABS plastic, right?
It is, yeah. It's classed as a New Hope stunt helmet. That's I think TK Armor, that's what they classed it as.
Okay. Where do you remember what company you used to get that armor? Where'd you buy that from, or was it a private vendor?
I actually got that through eBay. if I'm honest, I can't remember the seller, but it came in a TK Armor box. Now the seller wasn't TK Armor, but it was a TK Armor edition, and that's the box it came in. But no, it was a private seller through eBay. I got it for a very good price, and then he had quite a few to sell and then quickly disappeared. So again, I'm not quite sure how legit it was at the time. But I picked it up for a fantastic price. So yeah, like I said, I had to do the work myself, which is why it was so cheap. But a fraction of the price of what a ready-to-wear costume was selling for. So yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Really quick, there's Dave from Vintage Toy Rush. Dave, good to see you.
Hey.
So the one that started it for me, Luke, actually is, if you can look over my head here, that's the Sideshow Collectibles statue, but that's not the helmet that comes with it. That is actually an EFX Collectibles helmet, and it was the first one that I ever got, because at the time I just wanted one helmet. I was only going to get one helmet, and it was going to go in one of these glass cases with a dirt bike helmet and a motorcycle helmet and something else that we had downstairs. And then, like you, I think I saw, what was it? At Novos started selling helmets, and that's what started me down the slippery slope. But that EFX helmet is made out of a good, sturdy ABS plastic. It came obviously all in one piece, but EFX is incredibly expensive, and I'm not even sure if they're really even selling helmets anymore. So,
right, yeah. I mean, I've seen EFX a few times, but no, never bought a helmet.
I have two of them, and we'll get to that because my Scout Trooper helmet back here, that's an EFX as well.
Yeah.
So there's Tim Bainbridge. Tim, good to see you. I appreciate you stopping by.
Hey, Tim.
Luke, how many helmets do you have?
Are we talking purely Star Wars helmets? I assume we are.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got, let's have a quick glance around the room because I do tend to forget. So I've got 13 in total so far. I do.
Okay. I have
13.
I have 18. So you need to catch up. You're a little behind.
Oh well, yeah. Oh no, sorry, 14. See, I've got one right next to me and I forgot. 14.
Right? They're like rabbits. You keep looking around, you'll find more you didn't know you had, right?
Yeah. It's right next to me. I don't know what I'm thinking.
Okay. So if you look at our collections, you can see that I'm definitely going for a theme here. It's all Imperial, and I've got them organized out by specific types. Your collection is a little bit more, I don't want to say eclectic, but yours is a little bit more wide and varied. Do you have a specific goal for your collection, like what you're going for, or are you just picking up stuff that you like and as you see it?
No, not really. I don't have looking at the collection, I don't really feel I've got a particular goal in mind. I generally pick up the helmets that I like. There are certainly 2, 3, maybe 4 I'd like to add at this point, but I'm an Imperial man like you. I do obviously really like the troopers and things like that, but I generally just pick them up when I feel they're at a good price, and I've got to like the helmet. I mean, I'm not. There are certain Black Series helmets and 1.1 scale helmets that I have no intention of getting because I don't like the helmet. And sometimes the character comes into play as well. If I'm not a huge fan of the character, I may avoid it, rightly or wrongly. But yeah.
Right. So there's our first question from chat. Luke, do you have any clone helmets?
I don't have any. I'm going to say something controversial now. I'm not a huge fan of the prequels. And I think I possibly would. I've not even watched Clone Wars at this point. I've only just started the first season. So again, once I've watched the Clone Wars, that may lead me to, right, I'll pick up some clone helmets. But no, and I don't really have any desire to get any at this point, if I'm totally honest.
Yeah, fair enough. So to go back to that initial,
yeah, nice. Don't get me wrong, but yeah,
yeah, fair enough. So as you can tell, Luke, what we'll do is here, as we go through the questions, I'll have you answer them, and then I'll talk about mine right afterwards. As you can see, I stick specifically, except for the Mandalorian helmet, which I'll talk about in a minute. I'm specifically Imperial, and I, like you, I'll only pick up the ones I like. Like a good example is there was a question that I got on my last collection video, and the guy asked, no Snowtrooper helmet. Well, the Snowtroopers are original trilogy. I loved them. They're good looking helmets, don't get me wrong, but it's a little too plain for me to spend money to put in my case. So I'm going to skip the Snow Trooper helmet. Isn't that it's kind of weird, huh?
Yes, considering you seem to go for the Imperials. I mean, I do intend to add a Snow Trooper this year, but somebody said to me not long ago, it seems like it will be quite difficult to display because of the long sort of cloth front. It goes quite a long way down. So he pointed out that I won't be able to display it the way I display them. I mean, you have them on a stand. Is that right? Do you have like a stand?
So yeah, all of mine, except for the ones way up top there, are on what are like just brushed metal paper towel stands that are about 12.5 inches tall, believe it or not. So yeah. So I mean, with the stands, you'll probably be able to display a Snow Troop helmet quite well, whereas it wouldn't really work for me because I would sit it in the cabinet and then the sort of cloth at the front would all push up, and it probably wouldn't look particularly good, and it would sit quite low. So I do intend to pick one up, but I would have to display it differently, I think. Yeah, fair enough. And as you can see, Christian's got a sense of humor because me and Brandon and Bailey are doing the Bad Batch breakdown on that CTI Star Wars story. So yeah, I think I agree with you. If I was going to get a Snow Trooper helmet, I'd have to do like one of those top bust things like they do with the shoulders and the chest armor, and it would be displayed somewhere else. But it would be a mismatch in my helmet case, I think. So are you going to put yours where are you going to put yours when you get it, your Snow Trooper helmet?
If I'm the way I'm thinking at the moment, the way to combat the issue that I think I'm going to have is that I intend to get like a mannequin head, almost like a dummy. You can get like polystyrene dummy heads, I think, can't you? And I intend to maybe sit it on one of those, so it will elevate it enough to stop the cloth from dragging too much, and I think it will drop down enough to cover the fact that it's sat on a mannequin head. So that's my idea in theory. Whether it will work as well as I think in my head, I don't know. Okay.
And where in your room is it going to go? Do you know?
Absolutely not. No. I will have to. I mean, there's going to be a space. When I hit 500 subs, there is going to be a space in the cabinets, but I've already got one to go in that space. So I think when I have a rearrange, it's going to have to go on the shelf above the cabinets. You can't quite see it, but there is a shelf above the cabinets. So I think I will do a line of helmets on that shelf. So that's probably where it'll go.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take a quick moment and touch on something you just said then, Luke. Luke Reynolds has a wonderful YouTube channel called Reynolds Reviews. Most of you in the chat probably already know about it, but he's going to be doing a 500 subscriber giveaway that is going to be awesome. So if you haven't already, make sure you go over and subscribe to Luke in his channel so that you can be a part of that, because it's going to be awesome, I think. Luke, do you want to talk about that real fast?
It's basically, I think I have said to a few other people now, I don't know if you can see, you can just see it. So the Scout Troop helmet, you can see just over my shoulder is my only 3D printed helmet. Now, I've wanted to upgrade this helmet for quite a while. As much as I love it, and it does display great, I have wanted to upgrade it. But I think the reason why I'm not doing that is because I have it. And while I look at it in my collection, it still does display well. And I just think, while I've got it, I'm not going to upgrade it. So in theory, to push myself to upgrade it, I'm going to give it away when I hit 500 subs. Now, like I say, it's not the highest end helmet. It is 3D printed, but it does display fantastic. And as a giveaway prize, I just think, it would be a really, really good giveaway. So yeah, when I hit 500 subs, I'm going to do a giveaway, and the prize will be the Scout Troop helmet. So, and hopefully that will motivate me to go get another one.
Absolutely. Hey, Luke, are you interested in pulling that out and showing it up close to the camera? Do you mind? Or
yeah, sure. Cool? Yeah. No, not at all. Not at all. Just 1 second. I'll have to take my earpiece out. 1 second.
Absolutely. Let me see if I can see how to do this. How do you make that big?
Okay. So as you can see, it does look the part. It's just when you get up close, you can see the lines in the plastic.
Okay.
But it does look great on display.
Oh yeah, so when it hits the light just right, you can see the printing lines on it. But man, it's still a good looking helmet. And that's an awesome giveaway. You're really nice to do that.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, no, I'm excited to do it, and I just think, you know, at the end of the day, somebody's going to get a really nice looking helmet to display, and hopefully it'll be appreciated. I'm sure it will.
Absolutely, yeah. If I didn't already have one, I might go for it.
Got to be in it to win it, Paul.
Yeah, exactly. So Christian, we already went through that. Tim, so yeah, for the most part, the focus of my collection is the full-size helmets and the 3 3/4 inch Star Wars action figures. Now, that being said, I'm like most other Star Wars collectors, in as much as I get a little sidetracked, and I have some, I do have some Black Series figures. I'm up to 12 now, but I do specific things with them like this. I make them into shadow boxes. And so I have 3 of these, and I'm working on my 4th right now. And then I have my first hot toy coming here next year. I got the Mortar Trooper hot toy. Yeah. So, but yeah. Wow. So, oh, there's Matt. Matt, good to see you, man.
Hey,
yeah,
hey, Matt.
I agree with Christian too. That's if you do that Snow Trooper display, Luke, I think that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, hopefully. In my head, it'll work the way I'm thinking about displaying it, but I've been known to make plenty of mistakes.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm perfect over here. And you know, and Shabby's got a point. That's I can't believe you're going to give away a whole helmet, 3D printed or not, Luke. That's really cool of you.
Yeah, no, it's something that I'm excited to do. I like giving stuff, and yeah, it'd just be nice to see it go to a fellow fan and collector. So
nice. And as a reminder, as you can see, we're getting stop motion Luke Reynolds today. He's having a slight internet issues, but we're just powering through. We don't even care. So, Luke, the next question I have for you is, which one of those helmets, and I know this is a tough question because each of them, you like each of them for their own specific reason. Which one of those helmets is your favorite?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be crazy not to say my Boba Fett Black Series or my Boba Fett custom helmet, because he is my favorite character. However, I would probably say, and it might surprise some people, I'd probably say the Inferno Squad.
Wow,
right in the center.
I wasn't going to guess that. Okay.
No, I mean, purely because one, I did a lot of the work on it myself, and I just love that style helmet. The same as the AT-AT driver, the TIE pilot, that Stormtrooper faceplate with the oversized dome and the sort of Mohican, as well as the fact I absolutely love the asymmetrical design on it. The fact it's not the same on both sides, and I think the black and red works fantastically well, as well as the red lenses. And I just think it's a really, really unique sort of helmet, and probably one you won't see in a lot of people's collections. So a lot of work went into it, and I do love it.
So you made that one yourself?
Yeah, well, yeah, I say that loosely. I didn't actually make the helmet. I got the helmet as a complete raw cast, and I had to rub it down, do a few repairs on it, prepare it, then paint it, do the hand painting, add all the greeblies, eye lenses, etc. So the helmet itself I didn't make, but I got it completely raw and did everything else.
Yeah, when you said you had to rub it down, your helmet made the 13-year-old in me laugh a little bit.
School yard humor is the best.
Sorry about that. Hey, Adam, it's good to see you. And hey, there's Kat. Good to see you. I appreciate you stopping by. So if you don't mind, Luke, real fast, I'm going to grab my favorite and show it off on camera. So I'll be right back.
Yeah, please do.
So back when Anovos used to actually sell helmets, which we're going to talk about vendors at pretty great length here in a little while, because I'm going to get some of Luke's experiences. But this one actually comes from a company called Anovos. And my favorite characters in the movies were the Death Troopers. When they first showed up on Rogue One, Luke, I was like, oh my God, these guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Now, like you,
fantastic.
I love that Patrol Trooper helmet. The Shore Trooper, helmet for a different reason. I have a helmet down here that was a gift from my employees when I was, and so for different reasons, I love all of them. But if the house is on fire and I could only grab one helmet, it would be this bad boy right here. This is my Anovos Death Trooper. And I look at it, I'm out of breath. It's heavy. Yeah. This thing must weigh probably 8 pounds. It's
stunning.
Good sturdy fiberglass, good metal feel right here. Like they did that almost like the Beskar they did on the Mandalorian helmet. Just there's, the lenses are in there. It's just a thing of beauty, Luke. I love this helmet.
Yeah,
and my
it really
favorite
is. Yeah.
When you used to get them from Anovos, as you can see there, they're padded, the whole thing inside.
Right. Yeah.
So you could just stick it right on your head and go to town.
So that's ready straight away to wear.
Yeah, came right out of the box, just like this. You can just pop it right on your head and go to town. And I don't know much about the 501st. I've got a couple of buddies that are in it, but I bet this is ready to go for 501st approval if you decided you wanted to join that group.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that thing's awesome. Now I'm going to have to – the problem with it, every time I handle it, though, it gets fingerprints all over it. So now I'm going to have to clean it before it goes back in the case.
You have to polish your helmet.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. Hey, over there. Yeah. Oh, man. So that cracks me up. Let's see.
Yes. Beautiful helmet,
Luke,
though.
Thank you. Didn't you actually do some custom helmets for a time? And can you elaborate on that a little bit? Yeah, that's a good question. You have a few that you've done yourself and worked on. Can you talk about those for a couple minutes?
Yeah. I mean, the ones, just looking at the cabinet, the ones that I worked on myself, obviously the Inferno Squad that I've just mentioned, the ATAT driver. I actually think that's it in the cabinets. But yeah, me and my brother did it as a little bit of a sideline. We inadvertently came across a guy selling through eBay, and he was selling 1.1 scale helmets. He was selling them finished as well as in the raw form for people to customize themselves. And we bought one off him, which is the ATAT driver. There is the one that we've started with, and we bought that as just a. Do you think we can do this? I'd love to have this helmet. I'd love to. Do you think if we get these, we can do them to a good standard? So the ATAT was a tester, and we got that. We prepped it, sanded it down, primed it, painted it, managed to source the greeblies, the eye lenses, etc. And when we finished it, I mean, it was always going to go into my collection, but we realised that we can do a decent job with this, and this is our first one. We're going to get better doing this. So we basically contacted the guy that we bought that one from and came up with a deal with him. And basically, he sort of said, when I mold these helmets, I only sell what he classed as A-grade helmets. So helmets that came out of the mold that were perfect, they were undamaged, no blemishes. They were his A-grade helmets. They're the ones he painted and sold. Anything that came out with any imperfections, any cracks, or were quite symmetrical, he classed as a B grade and just chucked them in a bin, almost like a dump bin, and didn't do anything with them. So we came up with a deal that me and my brother basically just said, look, we are happy to take every single B grade helmet you have, as well as any in the future, so that you never waste any helmets. We get them at a good price. And then we'll. So that's basically the deal we came up with. Whenever he had any B grades, he contacted us. I've got an ATAT, I've got a Type R, I've got a Stormtrooper. Do you want them? Yes. So we basically started taking every single B grade helmet off him, and we were paying £30 for each helmet, which was just a ridiculous bargain. And at that point, depending on what he had, we just took everything he had at the time. And then decided whether it's going to be right. We'll do a Type R, we'll do an ATAT driver, and we'll do a Stormtrooper or whatever. And that's basically what we started doing. We primed them, painted them, added the decals, eye lenses, and just did a variation. Picked them up for £30 each. We could probably complete a helmet for around £70 with paint and everything complete. Wow. And then we were selling them for sort of 200, so we were doing quite well. We sold about a dozen helmets, and we'd had a discussion between ourselves that until we can actually make the helmets ourselves, the actual helmets, this could go south at any point, because if our supplier dries up, then we're finished, sort of thing. It's done. Right. It was only a sideline. We both were still working full time, and then sure enough, the guy that was providing them got in touch with us and said, look, I'm having issues at home. My wife's in poor health. I need to stop. I'm stopping producing, and I'm going to get rid of all my equipment. So sort of disaster really. But this guy basically, we developed quite a good relationship by this point, and he said to us, look, but you are welcome to come and meet me. I will, if you want all the gear, I'll give you a crash course in all the equipment. I'll show you how to do it. And if you want to take it and carry it on, you can do. Which was quite an attractive prospect at the time. But at that point, my brother had just bought a house, so money was very tight. Me and Rachel were in the process of buying a house, so money was very tight. And it just came at the wrong time, and we ended up having to let it go. So it didn't last too long, and unfortunately then our supplier dried up. We tried to source other suppliers, but for raw cast helmets they were asking 4 or 5 times the price, and there was just no profit margin in it. So it ended there, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. How many of those helmets total do you guys think you made before you were done?
I think that we maybe about a dozen. It weren't that many in the end. We did about a dozen, so maybe around 12, no more than 15 before we finished.
Yeah, that's still a lot of helmets, because I grabbed mine. The closest I've ever done to making a helmet is I took this Black Series and taped it off.
Yes, I remember the video.
Yeah, so I did a video on it because, you know me, I'm narcissist. I have to do a video on everything I do. So, but this one is just it's a simple Black Series. I mean, you can see inside there, came in 3 pieces, and I just taped it off and painted it. And this is Rust-Oleum 2-in-1 Marigold is the name of the color. It's a yellowish color. And the more I look at it, the more I realized I may have missed some red spots here and there. But for the most part, it's like it displays great. From a distance, it looks really good in the case. And and I don't have any. It was my first time ever customizing anything, because when these guys came on in the Mandalorian, I fell in love with them. Luke, I was like, wow, I don't know why that yellow just looks so. I don't know why that yellow looks so good to me. It's just really weird.
Yeah, it does. No, you've done a superb job with that helmet. It looks brilliant.
Oh, thank you. I've seen so a couple of people watched my video and said, hey, I did one based on I saw you did in your video, and they would show me pictures of it or email them to me or text, and I'm like, oh, they're like 10 times better than mine. So I'm like, well, at least I gave some people some inspiration.
I'm sure that's not true.
I don't know about all that. But Tim has a question for you, Luke. Is your main passion to restore vintage toys, or would you consider that a yes?
Sorry, say that again, Paul.
So if you look at the comment below, is it from Tim? Is it your main passion to restore vintage toys, BMX burner?
No, I think my main passion is purely collecting. I enjoy to dabble in restoration, shall we say. I go through phases. Every so often I'll find something and I'll think, oh, I'm going to restore that, and then I might do a restoration and I might not do one again for 6 months. Restorations are the kind of things I'll find something specific and I'll get excited about doing a restoration on that particular thing. Now, whether that be a burner or helmets or vintage figures or modern figures, I do enjoy doing it, but it isn't. No, I wouldn't call it my main focus. I jump in and out of it really when I find something that I think needs a bit of TLC.
Fair enough. I think the closest I've come to restoring anything was actually downgrading, and I took this incinerator trooper figure. Let me make us a little bit bigger here again. And like I said, I've got a fascination with these mortar trooper. So that spray paint that I had over there, Luke, I sprayed it onto a paper plate until it pulled up, and then I took a little brush and I dabbed it onto this incinerator trooper until I had my own mortar trooper.
Wow, that looks fantastic though.
Oh, thank you.
That's great.
But it tested my patience.
I wouldn't question that.
Oh,
yeah,
thank
I can
you.
imagine.
When if
I've seen that in a store, I think that's genuine.
Oh, you know what? That's Shabby's got a good question. If you could only buy one more helmet, Luke, and you could get one more, and then that's it, and then Rach said that's enough, no more. Which one would you get? Yeah,
that's an easy one. I mean, there's a good 4 or 5 helmets I'd like to add to my collection, but if I can only add one, it would be the one over your shoulder, Paul, the Shore Trooper, without a doubt. Absolutely love it.
Okay, let me go get that real quick. So talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, no, that is definitely. And people that I know, I don't know if you can hear me now, Paul. Actually, I'm talking away. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just saying. I've mentioned this to a few people. This helmet, and I've got quite a few friends that don't have a lot of love for the Shore Troop helmet because they feel that it's going away from the traditional black and white sort of theme of the troopers. Now, obviously, I argue that it's for their environment because they're on the beaches on Scariff, and obviously it's to blend in with that environment, but they just don't have a lot of love for it. I think it's amazing, and I like the fact that it looks to me that obviously there's a lot of influence from the Biker Scout helmet, so I love it.
Yeah, I agree. So really quick, this one that I want to show, this is from a Novos as well. Once again, we'll talk about vendors here in a few minutes because I know both of us have some opinions on that company. But this is, once again, this is one of the best helmets in my collection, Luke. This thing is full on fiberglass. It's pretty weathered. Just an absolute, once again, an absolute thing of beauty. They did such a good job on this. Lovely, everything is cut into it. None of this is stickers except for this up here that's been painted on. The lenses in it are just good quality. It's just a really great helmet, and I can't complain. And once again, with the Novos, look at the padding in there. It's just crazy. The whole thing is padded, and it came with pads that you could take off and stick around where you wanted them and everything like that. Just look at the vents underneath. They did such a good job on that. It's just a beautiful helmet.
It is. It's an amazing helmet.
I will tell you this though, Luke. That Rogue one, the Death Trooper that I showed you, and that Shore Trooper, each right around $700.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy money. But I'm not sure I could justify it, but.
Well, I'm lucky in as much as I started collecting helmets later in life when I was, because when you're younger, you're not as financially secure. And so I actually have a little bit of play money now where I can do stuff like that. But, hell, I'm in my 50s. I couldn't have done that when I was in my 30s. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'll ever be able to do
it. So to answer Shabby's question on my behalf, if I could only get one more, I have a Boba Fett coming, and I have the Mandalorian Death Watch one coming as well. But if I could only get one more, and I'm desperately trying to find one, and that where I'm going to trust the vendor and that it's a good quality helmet, is the Turbo or the Transport Trooper driver, the green one from Mandalorian that Bill Burr is wearing. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. Yeah, fantastic helmet. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so weird to hear you say that some of your friends are purists on the colors, because my favorite helmets are the ones like the Death Trooper is black. The Shore Trooper, that's one of my favorites too. That's brown. My Mortar Trooper has got the yellow. So I like the other colors. I don't like to get too crazy with it. I don't want them to look like Tic Tacs or Skittles, but for the most part, I like some of the other colors. I think they're cool.
Yeah. Me too. I mean, the one Black Series helmet that is missing from my collection that I definitely want to add, and it seems to be almost impossible to get in the UK now, is the Shock Trooper, the Black Series Shock Trooper. I love that helmet, but so difficult to find in the UK.
Oh, the Black Series Shock Trooper it's near impossible to find here too. And if you can, people want $200, $300, $400 for them right now. So yeah, that would be nice, absolutely. But I missed out on. Maybe I'll paint one.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Let's see here. Dave's got a question. Luke, would you collect helmets in any other scale? And is it a fact that they one-to-one make them so desirable for you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would. I don't think I would collect them in any other scale. I think the fact that they are life size and wearable, is what makes them massively attractive to me. I think as a kid growing up, I'm sure multiple times I will have stopped and thought, how amazing would it be to have a real Stormtrooper helmet, one that you could wear, not just like a model that you held in your hand or whatever. So yeah, I think the fact that they are life size and wearable makes them extremely attractive to me. I mean, even as a 42-year-old guy now, when I don't do it very often now, only for friends and family, and if they ever, sometimes I do a little bit of PR stuff. I've got a friend who has a collectible shop, and sometimes I'll stand outside the shop on May the 4th and do a little bit for him. But when I do suit up in the armor, I get that buzz of excitement even at 42 years old, and I put the helmet on and I put the voice changer in. I just think, wow, this is so cool at 42. I don't care, So yeah. It's just one of those, and people want to take photos with you, and when you speak and you've got the amp, so it even sounds like a stormtrooper. Yeah, it's amazing. But yeah, I think the fact they're wearable and full size makes them really attractive to me. Yeah,
I think you and I agree 100%. For me, although they're not a lot of them movie accurate props, I'm more along the lines of going for, hey, this came right out of service and was placed in a case. The wearable 1-to-1 size is what makes it attractive to me. Now, Shabby has a video where he was going through his stuff, and he has a collection of little small Black Series helmets that I didn't know they made. Those are cool to look at, but they just don't appeal to me to buy. So I agree with you.
No. Yeah, I mean, Connor has got in his room. He's got they're about so big. I think they were called De Agostini collector helmets, and I think you could get them over in the UK with a monthly magazine or whatever, and you get a Star Wars magazine that came with a small helmet. And whilst they are really cool and they come in a little plastic display case, they look really good. They just didn't appeal to me. So, but I don't think it would have mattered anyway, because Connor decided he was having them when I got a few. So.
Oh, you know what? That wasn't Shabby's video. That was your video. You're the one that had all those little helmets you were unpacking. No. Am I right?
No, Shabby did do one as well. He had some Black Series ones. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, I'm having a hard time remembering. There's so many good Star Wars channels out there.
Yeah, no, I think it might have been the video when Shabby received the X-Wing helmet as a gift. I'm sure he showed the Black Series small helmets as well.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. And Christian makes a good point here. The Short Trooper is amazing. I even like the whole set of armor. If I could get into that, that'd probably be one of the ones I would definitely make. So yeah, he's on our side on that
good.
one.
I went to a con not long ago, and there was a few people as Short Troopers. It looked fantastic.
Yeah, and you know what? For me, if I was going to bless you, if I was going to do a set of armor, I would definitely do one without the thighs, because to make it more comfortable. So.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny you say that, Paul. That is the hardest part of my armor to wear and wear comfortably, because I've got quite big thighs. I played a lot of football, and the thigh pieces, without cutting down, are almost too small.
Right.
Yeah.
So I actually have a set of a Novos armor, and the thigh pieces at this point won't go up over my thighs, and so yeah.
Right.
Oh, look at that! There's Blacked Out Ewoks. Good to see you.
But... Hey, Blacked Out.
So the next question I had for you, Luke, and don't say the Scout Trooper, because then that'll ruin your giveaway. But what's your least favorite? I mean, you love all your helmets, but what's the least favorite helmet in your collection? Like if someone said you have to give me one, which one would you have to give up?
Yeah. I kind of feel I want to give a bit of a cheat answer. It's kind of my least favorite, but not, and you'll see why when I say that. I'll grab it now. One of my Boba Fett helmets, believe it or not, is my least favorite helmet. Now, not because it's Boba Fett, because he's my favorite character, but the helmet itself is very much a toy. It isn't screen accurate, and it was out long before what you see behind you now was available. So it was the closest thing I could get. Now I'm going to get killed because Rachel bought me it, so I don't want her to hear what I'm saying here. So let me grab it and I'll go on.
Okay. Yeah. And while Luke grabs his helmet, as a reminder, he's got some internet issues, so we're just powering through them right now. God bless him. Hopefully gets those fixed.
Okay, sorry. So the helmet itself was the second helmet Rachel bought me as a birthday gift. I love it, don't get me wrong. The fact it was a birthday gift and the fact it's Boba Fett. But as you can see, it's got an extremely wide lens.
Oh, yeah.
Because it is essentially a toy. And it's not particularly screen accurate. But the reason why, at the same time, it's probably my lowest quality helmet. The same reason why I love it so much is it was the helmet I took when I met Jeremy Bullock.
Oh, wow.
Because I didn't have the other Boba Fett helmets at that point. So whilst it's my least favorite helmet as far as it's the least accurate, it is one of my favorites because it is signed by Mr. Jeremy Bullock.
Wow. That's
kind of a trick answer, isn't it?
Yeah, that's kind yeah, because that one's irreplaceable now, especially since unfortunately he passed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so a bit of a cheat answer, I'm afraid, but yeah.
Fair enough. You know what though? I'm gonna give you an answer on this question as well, Luke, and you're gonna want to smack me in the head also because once again, I have a lot of helmets from Novos. Recently, Black Series put out a First Order Stormtrooper, the second iteration with the teeth, and that helmet is really good looking. They did such a good job. Well, previously to that, I had spent $500 on this Novos First Order. And I like the $100 Black Series better. I'm not gonna lie. So if I had to get rid of a helmet, it would be this really expensive helmet that I have. That I would be like,
would it? Wow.
I'll
tell you what I think when I get mine.
Oh, you're gonna love it, man. They did such a good job on it. But and one of the reasons is I never really liked this style anyway, because without the teeth here, it kind of looks like some sort of European bicycle helmet to me or something. You know what I mean? It's weird. But yeah, it's a great. I mean, and this is what. So here's the thing with the Novos. We'll talk about this really fast. If you buy like a fiberglass helmet, like that Shore Trooper or that Death Trooper, they come with beautiful padding on the inside. If you buy from a Novos, which you really can't anymore, and these ABS plastic ones, they just send this construction helmet thing on the inside. It's like their helmets are way over on either end of the spectrum. It's so strange.
Yeah, that was the one surprise when my First Order Stormtrooper helmet is a Novos, and again, I mean, I got that for a good price, but I wasn't quite surprised when I bought it. There was no picture of the inside. And when I bought it and looked inside, I fully expected to be full padded, you know, a lot more detailed, shall we say, and a lot more to it than just a liner. So I was quite surprised at that.
Yeah, especially for what you used to have to pay for those. Oh, look who snuck in. There's Josh.
Hey, Josh.
We're on time delay Luke right now. I love it. Let's see here. I want to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Oh, okay. So you may know this, Luke. I don't know how familiar you are with U.S. military history. I'm pretty sure that in Rogue One, the rebel troopers are wearing either actual or remade M1 looking helmets from World War II era. So yeah, I believe that is actually what it's based on. And then they wrapped that stuff around it. So.
All right. Well, you're teaching me something there. So no, I'm a bit ignorant when it comes to stuff like that. So yeah, that's new to me. But that's cool though. Yeah, good info.
Yeah, the guys that had helmets on, those are just basically M1 World War II helmets. If you look at the soldiers from the United States Army back then, so that's a good point, Christian. That is accurate.
Good knowledge.
Yeah, see, Blacked Out, it says the same thing. He thought the rebel helmets looked like the World War II U.S. Navy helmet for the chaps that had headphones. They're close to that because the guys that had headphones, if you watch a movie called Greyhound, there's a guy that has one of those on. He's featured greatly. They're bigger and wider, but yeah, they're similar. They're based off the same concept. So let's see here. Okay. So you kind of talked about the helmets you still want to get. Do you talk about how much further you're going to go, Luke? How many more are you going to get, do you think, and which ones are they?
The problem I've got now, Paul, really is it is something that isn't going to stop. You know, when a helmet comes out that I like, I'm going to buy it. You know, the First Order Stormtroopers come out. I've already got the Novos, but the Black Series one I've got on pre-order. There's a helmet currently available which I don't have, which I want, which is the Wedge Antilles helmet. I don't see it stopping. The problem I've got is eventually I am going to come to a point where I cannot accommodate anymore. They cannot spill out of this room. That cannot happen. There's nowhere else in the house they can go. So I think it will just be a case of, like anybody, I suppose, as I go, more shelving will go up, but eventually that will get to a point where I can't put any more up. So I suppose my helmet collection will go until I physically cannot do anything else to accommodate anymore, because it won't stop. It won't. There's just too many more to come out. I still want a Death Trooper. I still want a Shore Trooper. I still want a Snow Trooper. I want a Wedge Antilles. I'm getting the Black Series First Order Stormtrooper. I mean, there's so many helmets I hope are released in the future as well. But yeah, I'm hoping Black Series do a Biker Scout. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a never-ending thing. I don't really see that it will stop in tomorrow.
Wow, you're a brave man. Rach is going to have to be on board for that, I imagine.
To be fair, I'm really lucky. She puts up with a lot. She really does. I mean, there's a lot of eye rolling, but she puts up with a lot.
Oh, so for me, we'll talk about it now if I can get the pointing correct here. I have the Mandalorian Black Series helmet up here, and I only collect Imperial helmets to begin with. But when that one was announced, I was just showing my wife. We were having breakfast, and I wasn't going to get it because I'm like, I don't collect Mandalorian helmets. And she's like, "Are you sure? It's only like $100 something. Why don't you get that? Why don't you pick that up? Why aren't you getting it?" And I tell you, I was a little taken aback, Luke, because I was like, all right, what did you do? What did you break? Do you want another gun or something? Because she's a shooter. Do you want another gun or something? What's going on here? So it was kind of weird. She actually encouraged me to get it. But she encouraged me to get it. Yeah, I was totally shocked because, so I got it. It came in. It's a great helmet. They did such a good job on it. I don't need to get that one down because there's a bunch of reviews out there. But now my goal is where that helmet is where my green transport trooper helmet is going to go when I finally figure out that one. In the top of those cases will all be pilots and drivers. And I need one more DTOF case because I'll put that Mandalorian helmet in there. And then I have the Boba Fett and the Death Watch on order. And then I want to get a Bo-Katan or a female version. And then I'm hoping at that point, there's my wall. That's when I'm going to stop because I have room for about 1 or 2 more DTOFs in here. And that's it. I want to stop at 1 more. So we'll see.
Yeah. Good luck with that, Paul.
I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah. Famous last words.
Yeah, I know. Tim's got a question here. Paul, do you know of Andy's Hobby Shop? I think it's in Phoenix. And you know what, Tim? I've not heard of that one. I've heard of a bunch, but I haven't heard of Andy's. I'll have to look that up and see what the deal is with that. And then, Blacked Out actually clarified. He's talking about the Rebel Fleet helmet and the Rebel Ground Crew. I thought those were based more off of a samurai type of deal. Luke, do you know, the ground crew guys with the white and the black helmets, I think is what he's talking about. Do you know what those are based off?
Yeah. No, I don't. Again, it's something that it's one thing that I don't tend to delve. I will see a helmet and go, that's a cool helmet. And I'm not one of these guys that jumps onto Google and starts Googling about where the influence came from, anything like that. So I'm learning a lot tonight.
Oh, okay. So I think, Blacked Out's probably got a good point. It's probably a mix of, because I know George Lucas relied heavily on samurai and samurai themes. And of course, the movies of Akira Kurosawa heavily influenced his storytelling. And a lot of the costumes are based on that as well. But it does actually look like, now that I think about it, the Death Star, what they used to destroy, the Star Destroyer Commander or whatever figure, that helmet is based off. It looks like it might be the Mark II Navy helmet. So that's a good point, Blacked Out. Jay, good to see you. I appreciate you stopping by, man. Jay's been with me since the very beginning, Luke.
Oh, really? Wow. Loyal guy.
Yeah, he's been with me since I was doing this with my cell phone and stuff. It's awesome, man.
Cool.
But yeah, cool. That Blacked Out elaborated. Yeah, I think there's probably a little bit of influence from both of those in there. And then here, see, this is why I don't need friends, Luke, because Brandon's not helping any. Now I got to do a whole case of Bad Batch helmets, probably.
Yeah, I mean, you can imagine that they'll be coming at some point.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, Josh has a good point. It's like poetry. It rhymes. Yeah, you know what else is going to rhyme? Death, if I keep up with the helmet. So we'll see. And look at that. So I'm getting an education from Blacked Out here too. John Molo designed a lot of the designs. He had great knowledge of World War II. And that makes sense to me because the uniforms, although they're space cadet-y and stuff like that, they do look like they have a practical purpose, especially for the other things besides stormtroopers. So that's good info, Blacked Out. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. Luke, I wanted to talk a little bit about prices here because they can vary so wildly. What's if you don't mind saying, and if you're not comfortable saying, then please don't. But what can you tell us what your most expensive helmet is, and then kind of the average prices on down to what your least expensive helmet was?
Yeah, my most expensive helmet was the Anovos First Order Stormtrooper. So that, I mean, I bought that on the secondary market. I think I paid £220 for that one. And at the time I felt that was a good price. After that, My Imperial Stormtrooper, in theory, was the cost of the armor because I got that with the armor. So
Okay.
I don't really count that because that came with the armor. After that, things like the Custo, the AT-AT driver, and the Inferno Squad was like £70 because I bought them as raw cast for £30 each, and then did the work myself, and it complete about £70 each. My custom Boba Fett was 140. And after that, the majority is Black Series, so they range from sort of 80 to 100 to 110. I can't see. Yeah. So my most expensive is the Anovos First Order Stormtrooper at 220, and then after that, they range from around 100, apart from the AT-AT and the Inferno Squad, which are about 70 all in.
Oh, okay. So you did a much better job of getting what I would call good deals, because I've paid upwards of $600-700 for a couple of my Anovos helmets, all the way down to Black Series, which I picked up the one that I painted for $100. So the thing about helmets, obviously, is that they can vary wildly in price. Would you agree with that, Luke?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially when you look at obviously EFX and Anovos. Now, I knew of Anovos fairly early on in my helmet collecting, but having watched some of your videos and other people's, one, they were obviously extremely expensive, but I did consider it at first, but it was more I didn't really want to wait 2 years to get one. The waiting time seemed to be ridiculous, and it just put me off straight away. So the idea of shelling out so much money and then maybe not having it in my hands for 12 months plus, I never really got close to doing that.
Right. So you've talked about your armor a couple of times. I picked up, that was my first purchase from Anovos, actually. Oh, sorry. With that, you can't quite see.
Oh,
so
wow.
Let me fix it. But yeah, that was my first purchase. And I did an unboxing video that my brother suggested. It was the first video on this channel. He's in the industry, so he filmed it. And that's what got me into doing the YouTube thing. But long story short, I wanted it for a statue. And then I found the Sideshow collectible statue and got that. So I decided to take my armor and I turned it into this. There's my helmet from Anovos for my.
Oh, wow.
I painted it black and gray, and I painted the whole statue, or painted all the armor black and gray. And now I have this completely non-canon, absolutely made up tactical operations Stormtrooper.
Wow, that looks amazing. That works so well.
Oh, thank you. So the funny thing with this, Luke, is this gray paint here. I was doing a project in the house where I was painting some stuff around the house, and I'm like, you know what? I bet that would look good on the armor. And it went from there. And pretty soon my wife was buying me can after can, and I was out, side fogging up the garage with paint and everything like that, and I ended up with a whole suit. So
yeah, that works really well. That does look good.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Let's go through some questions really fast here. Boom, boom. I always like that. Yeah, Josh said he always liked the TIE Pilot helmet because it basically the Rebel helmet with a Stormtrooper face. I wouldn't disagree with you. I never even noticed that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Dave. Where's the craziest place you've worn one of your helmets?
Oh, I did. Right, I should have filmed it. In fact, at the beginning of lockdown, I did wear my Stormtrooper helmet to Tesco's because in theory it was a face mask, and I got away with it to start with. I didn't wear the armor.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I just thought I can argue that it's got the breathing apparatus and things, and it's
filtered.
Yeah, I think So I did wear that in Tesco's. Yeah.
Good for you. Now, for those Americans who may not know what it is, what is that? What is Tesco? Is it like a grocery store or something?
Sorry. It's just like a superstore, supermarket where you would do your grocery shopping. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's what I thought it was, but really quick, there's not Obi-Wan. Thanks for dropping by, man. It's good to see you. I will tell you that I'm kind of a boring guy, I guess. I've never worn my helmets outside of the house. I try them on when I buy them. I put on the armor suit once just to test it out, and I couldn't take a picture of myself. So I walked out into the driveway through the front door and walked in a circle in the driveway. And then I came back in to activate the security cameras so I would get, you know, front and back movie footage of what it looked like on me. But I've never been out of the house in mine. I'm so boring.
Well, I suppose the opportunity doesn't lend itself too often, does it? But I think a lot of people in lockdown sort of. I saw a lot of people mowing their lawn in their stormtrooper outfits and things during lockdown.
Yeah, I will tell you that. So I don't work there anymore, but where I used to work, it was a lot of alpha males and not a whole lot of tolerance for silly nerd stuff and like that. So I just really never got the opportunity to wear it or go anywhere. And then, you know, most of the time, like I said, I've got him. This is the first time some of these have been out of these cases since I moved the cases upstairs. So I just kind of stare at them like a little child. That's the most I mess with them. So.
All right. Me too.
Yeah. Tim's got a question, Luke. Did you get that Hasbro Razor Crest thing?
I did not. No. I generally don't buy into the whole like the sale badge, you know, and things like that. I generally don't go for stuff. One, they're just too much money. Although I know the Razor Crest is pretty reasonably priced, if I'm honest. No, one, I just don't think, again, I couldn't accommodate them anywhere, certainly not the sale badge. And the Razor Crest, even though it is a good price, and I don't think it is as big as the sale badge, I just don't have anywhere I could accommodate such a big piece. So no, I don't go for those things.
Right. And I'm kind of in the same boat as you. As it is, my 3 3/4-inch action figures, once I buy them, do the video, I'll keep them out and look at them and just admire them for a little while. And then they go right into plastic totes because I have nowhere to display them. If I had a room that was like, say, 5 or 6 times the size of this, I might get the vehicles and some of the play sets and stuff, but I don't have the space for it. I mean, that Razor Crest is beautiful, but like the guys at the Holo Chronicles like to say, I'm going to have to enjoy it in somebody else's collection. I certainly appreciate it, but it's not something I ever look at buying. Right. Yeah. If you find you have the same problem I do, you look at a lot of stuff and you're like, man, that's beautiful. I'd love to have it, but I just don't have the space, or it doesn't really fit into my collection. So. Yeah,
and a lot of the time, I mean, unfortunately, a lot of my decisions are based purely on finance. You know, I earn a humble wage, and I don't have a huge amount of money to spend on my collection, if you like. So if I'm one of the guys where if I was to get, I don't know, 200, 300 pound in my hand, I would rather buy 10 things than one big thing. That is generally how I do it.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. I think except for the helmets, you and I agree. I tend to, although, you know what, I'm all over the board though, because, you know, that was my grail piece, that Stormtrooper statue back there with the EFX helmet on it. And, you know, that cost a couple of dollars, as you might imagine. So I'm small, big. I can't
imagine. Yeah.
Josh.
Yeah, no, they're not cheap.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that, Josh. I really appreciate that. Hey, Sire Speed Reviews is here. Love the modified tech. Thank you so much. It was a blast. I did a video overview of it, not while I was making it because I hadn't gotten that far into my channel yet. But if you want to get a good look at it, plus it shows up in the background of my helmet videos a lot and stuff too. So thank you very much for that, Sire Speed. I appreciate it. And here we go, Luke. You don't have to answer this question if you don't want to either, but have you ever put on some of your Stormtrooper helmets and maybe rated the Tantive 4 in the upstairs bedroom, if you know what I'm saying?
No, I can't say I have, and I'm not sure it would be possible to do so if I did. It's not Star Wars based, but there is one thing in my collection that I'll say this quietly that Rachel has encouraged me to wear. Shall we say to wear? But it hasn't happened yet.
That's a good enough answer. I want to keep it PG. So thank you very much for
I don't
answering.
feel I can say anymore.
Right, smart man. Yeah, because my wife does not pay attention to my YouTube channel at all, but every now and then she'll pop into a live stream, so I know she may or may not be watching. So I will tell you the topic has come up, Brandon, but it's nothing, not even close, and I don't think it ever will. And we'll just leave it at that. So Oh, man. All right. Let's see here. Oh, here's a question from Blacked Out. Hi, Paul. Did you collect the Black Series titanium mini helmet? So actually, Blacked Out, we had talked about those earlier. Luke has some, and so does Shabby. And they're really cool looking helmets. And I thought those are neat. Maybe if I'd started with those, I would have stayed with that scale. But since I started with the 1-to-1, I just stuck with that. So I'm just going to enjoy those in Luke and Shabby's collection. Luke, where did you put your small helmets? You said you gave them to your son, right?
Yeah, Connor's got them in his bedroom. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, look, there's sleeping. I appreciate you dropping by. My case looks weird right now because I've been pulling them out and showing them off. Luke's been pulling his out too, but he keeps putting them back because he's smarter than me. So it's good to see you.
Sneaking them back, yeah.
Yeah. There's Mr. Rez. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, Luke's got a great collection too. Oh, by the way, Luke, I noticed that you put some more puck lighting in there, and I'm actually really impressed. Yep. That I like the gradient that you got out of that. Are you happy with how it turned out?
I am. I'm really happy. I mean, I know we spoke previously, Paul, and I discussed. I was going to attempt to light them the exact way you've got yours lit, because I love the fact that you get a very consistent amount of light all the way down. So you don't really have any helmets in your collection that are neglected with any light. The reason why I chose against it in the end was my OCD kicked in. All the other lighting in my room are the puck lights, so I wanted to stay in the end with the puck lights. But I basically changed my old ones out because I weren't happy with the shade. So I only had 3 across the top to start with, and they were like a warm, what were called a warm white. So they had almost like a yellow tinge to them.
Right.
Whereas all the others in my room are what is called cool white. So very crisp and very, very white. So I got a 6-pack instead of a 3-pack, put 3 again across the top, 3 again halfway down. So that it only needs to light the top 2 and then the bottom 2, rather than by the time you got to the 3rd row, the light had pretty much gone. And obviously I changed it for a cool white, so all the lights in the room are now the same style and the same color. And I've purposely put white helmets directly under the lights because I just think it reflects off the white amazingly well and looks really good. So yeah, so no, I'm really happy with them.
Well, I will tell you, I was a big fan of my LED lights, and I still am, the way I get that really consistent light. But when I saw your puck lights and the way you've rearranged your helmets, I've kind of fallen. First of all, I like the cool white, but I've really fallen in love with that gradient that you're getting now. It's really cool looking.
Oh, wow. Thanks. Yeah, no, I'm really happy with it. Yeah, thank you.
Nice. Oh, hey, Bailey. It's good to see you. I'll see you in a little while tonight.
Hey, Bailey.
There's Left Coast. What's shaking? Bucket heads. That's us, me and Luke. All things 80s. I love watching his channel because he has that great Scottish accent. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic guy. Yeah, great channel.
Sleeping got another helmet himself. Dude, stand by. There's no stopping now, man. You're going to end up with cases of them before you even think about it. So,
yeah. Down the rabbit. Once you're down the rabbit hole, that's it. You'll get more.
Yep. And as a reminder, Luke is having a little bit of trouble with his internet connection tonight, but we just decided to forge through for everybody that just got here. Christian, keep pulling their helmets out. All right. There's Sean. Good to see you, man. Tim, I appreciate you dropping by. Yeah. Look at this. He's one of us. They're trying to get me to buy Hot Toys. Look at him. I'm not even trying. And Sleeping's got 7 in the last 3 months, Luke.
Wow. I mean, again, Hot Toys. I mean, as amazing as they are, I just couldn't finance them. I just could not. No. There's too many, and at that price, I couldn't do it consistently.
Yeah. I think I'm just going to stick with the
one. I think
I'd
be scared to pick them up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to do the one artillery trooper, and hopefully that'll be it for me because I don't need to go down that road. So, and then there's G-Force. Yeah. Good to see you, G-Force. Thanks for stopping by, man. So,
hey, G-Force.
Luke, it sounds like you've had some good experiences either directly and I know indirectly with some vendors. Can you talk about a lot of your helmets are you bought from private vendors, but first of all, other than Black Series, which we both would agree are great helmets for what you pay for them, have you worked with any other large companies directly and bought helmets from them and had a good experience?
No. I mean, the strange thing is, I buy mostly from private vendors or eBay. The only outside company that I've dealt with, and I haven't actually bought a helmet directly from them. It was just greeblies and pieces for helmets we were doing. Was who I put you on for, Andy, Holler Chronicles, was a new image prop replicas. And they're a UK company based maybe 90 minutes away from where I am. And they do amazing helmets. But I've only purchased what you would call it attachments. So things like the aerators, greeblies for the attack driver helmets, eye lenses. But again, really good company. The communication's good. Their items and the stuff is top quality. But I've not purchased a helmet. However, I do intend to get my Snow Trooper and Biker Scout from these guys.
So to piggyback off what you said, obviously, as you just mentioned, you and I helped out Andy over at Holler Chronicles with the hookup on the information on that, so that he could get that Scout Trooper helmet for Josh. And he actually took a small video of it when it came in, and it came from New Image Prop Replicas. He said that the communication was great. The price is reasonable, especially for a Scout Trooper helmet, which is one of the most difficult ones in my eyes to make because it has to open up and all that. And he showed me the package. It came in great packaging from the United Kingdom, and it was just a stellar, beautiful helmet. I mean, he did some close-ups of it for me so I could see. And so I, like you, Luke, I think, although I've never bought from New Image Prop Replicas, if anybody asked me, where's a good place to get a Snowy or a Scout Trooper, I would send them to these people right here. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to buy from any outside company, that is where I'll go. I mean, they do whichever versions of helmets they do, they generally do them in a pristine sort of brand new look, and they also do like a weathered look as well. So yeah, really, really good.
I agree. So as I've mentioned, I've pulled a few helmets down, and some of my favorites are from this company, but we're going to talk about them as well. And I think you know a little bit about this company as well too, Luke, and that is, I say Anovos, you say Anovos. I'm not sure which is right, but this company here.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So you've never bought anything directly from them, correct?
Never. No, I didn't. I just, again, when I saw the amount of time people were waiting for their helmets, and obviously the price point had to be right, in the end, I didn't bother. But I know I've, again, through conversations with you, Paul, I've heard a few things now about the company themselves, which, yeah, I mean, obviously I'll let you take the lead on that. But yeah, no, I never dealt with them.
Absolutely. So I will tell you that I started buying stuff from Anovos right after I discovered the Stormtrooper armor. And back then, because I keep joking and saying, when they used to send stuff, they would either pre-order stuff, I guess would be the best way to describe it, or they'd have it in stock. It was rare that they would have it in stock. But if it was a pre-order, you could bet you'd be waiting 6 months to upwards of 3 years when the site was running well, when the company was running well. Now, if it was in stock, I got it pretty quickly. And the other thing, really quick, before I show you what's going on their website, is if you buy one of their fiberglass helmets, they're $600-700, but just the best quality helmet. They're almost like motorcycle helmets, as I've shown earlier. I wouldn't recommend buying their ABS helmets, like the regular Stormtrooper helmets and stuff like that, because as I showed you on my one up there, they're really lightweight. They're come in pieces, and they weren't really well made. So, but here's what's going on with them now. This is currently their website, the Star Wars section. And if you look, and if you can see it, everything on here is now, it just says interest list. And the unfortunate thing is they had intended at some point, I'm guessing, to offer an immense amount of, just for the most part, what are great quality props. But I mean, look at this right here, $675, $700 for the Death Trooper helmet. Their prices were always right way at the high end, but everything now is interest list. Look at the Stormtrooper helmets are up to $600. I paid like $200 or $300 for mine. Clone Troopers, $600 and $700. I mean, everything you could ever imagine, for the most part, you could get from these guys. But as you see, it's all interest list now. And as I understand it from a number of different sources, is they got into a lot of trouble taking pre-orders and not shipping anything. I still have a friend who ordered an entire first order suit from them probably 4 years ago and it's never come. So there's lots of class action lawsuits and all kinds of issues. So at this point, even if you could order something, which you can't, I don't think I could, in good conscience, recommend a Novos to anybody, which is unfortunate because their stuff was so great when it was actually coming, if you could afford it. So,
yeah.
Luke, do you know of any vendors that you've either tried to deal with or that your friends dealt with where you had a negative experience, something where it didn't come in or you had to wait a long time, or do you know of?
No, luckily, like I say, I've never dealt directly with for a helmet with new image prop replicas. After that, I generally found vendors through eBay, because that's just where I did most of my browsing, most of my purchasing. And then obviously we found the private seller that he used to make them from his house. So we purchased a lot from there. And after that, it was generally private sellers on eBay. So fortunately, I mean, sometimes I do wish I'd have ventured outside that and tried to find other vendors, and maybe, as much as I love my collection, I'm very happy with it, maybe better quality from elsewhere. I'm also very lucky that I've never really had a negative experience with 1.1 helmets, so quite lucky that way.
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, and I think I might have even shown the logo briefly, another company that's along the same lines as a Novos is a company called EFX Collectibles. Now, once again, as my mother likes to put it, they're very proud of their helmets. And I have a Scout Trooper helmet from them and a Stormtrooper helmet, and the quality is just, but they are expensive. If you go to their website, if they even have them in stock, they're expensive. And it didn't used to be a problem pre-ordering from these guys, but I've been reading a lot, and we're going to get to that too. I'm going to talk about some forums and information sources, because as Luke can attest, collecting helmets is more about the journey than it is the get, because you got to do a lot of research. But as I understand it from researching and reading, EFX is starting to have problems with delivering their products as well now. So not quite as bad as a Novo. So if you go over to EFX and you have the money to afford one of their helmets, my recommendation is you do a lot of research and make sure that they're going to communicate with you and everything like that, so you don't end up getting frustrated. You've never dealt with EFX at all, Luke?
No, again, obviously I know of EFX, I know of a Novos, but because their price points were so high, I'm on a very modest budget, so I never dealt with them, purely because I just couldn't afford to lay out that amount of money for a helmet. So I had to look for, my challenge when I'm collecting the helmets is to look for an affordable, as high a quality affordable helmet as possible. I never had the luxury of being able to deal with the FX and the Novos, because I just couldn't afford them.
Right. Well, you know what? Smugglers Canyon Christian is reading my mind, because this is where I was going next. There's a UK company called RS Prop Masters, probably right down the street from one of you guys over there, Luke. And if you just Google that, or they have a YouTube channel, they have a full-on showroom. They do quality armor, quality helmets, great selection. They'll even custom fit if you're in the UK and you can go to the shop, as I understand it. Great communication. Everybody, I've never purchased anything from them, but anybody who has, that I know of in the helmet collecting community, or from what I can see on the forums, just great stuff. I can highly recommend them. Obviously, once again, though, with that quality comes a little bit of a price jump, though, so be prepared to pay a little bit. Luke, have you dealt with RS Prop Masters? Do you have anybody that you know that's dealt with them?
Again, I've not dealt with them, but I do know of them. I actually think, I might be getting them mixed up with somebody else, but I actually think they're based about 20 minutes away from where I am. And I have seen them at a few cons. I've spoke to a few guys that are involved with them, but again, I've never purchased anything from them. I may be getting them mixed up with somebody. I might be getting, but if it's who I think it is, they are quite close to me, and we do see them at quite a lot of Comic Cons, local cons. So, yeah, I think I might be right in thinking that do they make other things other than Star Wars helmets? I don't know if that's relevant, but I'm pretty sure I've seen them do Iron Man helmets and things like that. I don't know if it's the same company.
You know what? It's a possibility, Luke. I will tell you, I have no interest in anything other than Star Wars helmets. So I've never, if they have that on their website, then I may have missed it. There is a possibility, because they do the black Scout Trooper, which is now canon and everything like that. So that's what I was concentrating on when I was over there.
No, I think I know they are, but again, I've not dealt with them.
Fair enough. So let's talk about some private vendors. I have a Phase 1 clone trooper helmet over here, and they're oddly difficult to come across at points and in time. So I wanted to do the left or the right section of my cabinets over there. I wanted it to be the evolution of the clone and stormtrooper helmets. So all I needed was the Phase 1. And so I looked around on Etsy, which has become one of my go-to places lately, and I found a company called Dave's Armory. Now, these guys are based in Italy, and the helmet was a little pricey. It was in the $400 range, but just I can nothing but laud the communication, the turnaround time, the shipping. They said it was probably going to take 3 weeks during the height of the pandemic. It got here in like 6 days. It was well packed. I did an unboxing video on this one where I talk about everything that came in the box as well. He added in some little like Legos and his card and signed the inside of it. So if you're looking for clone helmets, thank you. Yeah. If you're looking for clone helmets, I can highly recommend Dave's Armory out of Italy. Have you heard of them at all, Luke?
Only through your video. I remember watching your unboxing, but no, until then, again, I've not heard of those. Okay.
Yeah, they got some great looking products. And another one that is on Etsy and on Facebook is Samuel of Art. These guys are based in Russia. Now, I haven't bought anything from these guys, but I'm on some forums, which we'll get to talking about here in a few minutes. And everybody has bought something from these guys. They specialize in clone helmets and the different ones, and everybody loves them. You would think, that coming from Russia, it would, there would be maybe some issues, customs, or, nothing but great reviews, great reputation, and great helmets from these guys. They're on Facebook and on Etsy as well. And if I was going to get a bunch of different types of clone Phase 2 helmets specifically, I would definitely go to these guys. But if you're interested, look them up as well.
Yeah, I definitely will. Yeah, definitely.
And let's see here. Oh, I get a lot of questions about this one, Luke. I appreciate you bearing with me because unlike you, I bought all my helmets from what seems like a ton of different people. So this one, I can never do the pointing thing right. This one right here, that patrol trooper helmet came from a company on Etsy called Brandford Studios. And he has them made and ready to go. So if you go over there right now, you can buy one. I think it's in the $200 range. And he's at the time he was based in England, and now the Etsy shop shows on the East Coast over there by Shabby. I think it was in one of the Carolinas or something. So,
right. No, again, not heard of those guys, but definitely check them out.
Oh wow! I think I have too much time to sit on my computer and look for vendors for these things or something, Luke.
No, I think what happened with me was once Black Series started releasing, I think at the start when this first started producing 1.1 scale helmets, I'm sure somebody may correct me, but I'm sure they only produced one a year. It was just one Black Series helmet a year. This is what we're doing this year. The next year, this is what we're doing. And all of a sudden now we get 3, 4, 5 helmets a year. And I also think the Black Series quality is improving. So it's not often now that I venture outside of the Black Series, simply because 1, I think the quality is fantastic now. 2, they're extremely affordable. And 3, the chances are I'm not going to wear any other than my Imperial Stormtrooper. So they don't need to be the highest end helmet. So that might be why I'm now not really venturing any further outside Hasbro and Black Series, but I maybe do need to just to keep my finger on the pulse, as they say.
Well, you know what? I agree with you. Those first, like you showed, that Boba Fett helmet and the first couple of clone trooper helmets were very clearly for kids because they made the lenses so wide so kids could see out of them. But now, I mean, I'm still holding this one right here. But now, I mean, look at this. That's a Black Series helmet, as everybody's well aware. I mean, if I just did that, you wouldn't know. That looked like it came right off the screen. They're so awesome now. For $100,
absolutely.
Oh, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I agree with you. For me, I'm trying to be a snob. So I'm trying to get helmets that maybe other people don't have too. So
yeah. Hey. Yeah, that's fine. It's. I mean, that's like I said earlier. That's one of the reasons why I love the Inferno Squad helmet so much, because it isn't often you see. If you do come across anyone that collects these helmets, it's not often you see that one in anyone's collection. So now I know. I'm pretty sure Novos did start producing it, but yeah, it's not often you see it. So I kind of love the fact it's quite unique.
Right. Yeah. That thing it's a thing of beauty in your case back there, because that's the only one I've ever seen. And the other ones you can pick out right before they stopped delivering stuff. Novos put out a couple of the first order TIE pilots, and a few of those are out there, and I've seen them in a couple of people's backgrounds, and those are just things of beauty. But once it's $700, you had to wait 2 years to get it. So there's few and far between out there as well.
Yeah, they were wonderful helmets. Yeah, did they have the red, sort of almost red tear line down the front?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were beautiful. Yeah. Brandon wants to know what other helmets you have besides Star Wars, Luke.
Ooh, right. So I've got a 1.1 scale Iron Man helmet. I've got a 1.1 scale Captain America helmet. I've got a Star-Lord helmet. I've got a Batman. I think Batman is a cowl rather than a helmet. I've got a Bane. Now, again, that's not really a helmet. I've got a Bane mask that comes over the head with the breathing. And I've got a Michael Myers mask, but again, not really a helmet, but they're all 1.1 scale. So I do class them as kind of part of the collection. But yeah, so a few Marvel things, DC.
Where do you have those in your collecting room? Are they up on top of the cabinets somewhere?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you'll be able to see them because they're not illuminated, but Captain America and Iron Man are just above on that at the end there. You can't really see them, but at the end of that shelf at the top there. And then the others are behind the camera on the shelving.
Okay.
Back now. There we go. Yeah, but again, they're not illuminated, so you can't really see them.
The Captain America helmet looks like it's on one of those styrofoam heads. Am I right?
It is. That's the plan. Yeah, that's the plan for the Snow Trooper. Yeah. In fact, my Kylo Ren helmet's on one of those as well.
Oh, so I was going to ask you about that. Your Kylo Ren helmet used to be in the top right section of your case, and then you redid it to maximize the lighting. And now you've moved it down below, and it no longer has the cowl on it. Did you take that off for a reason? Because it used to look good like that.
Yeah, I did, purely because it's difficult to light the helmet with the hood on. And while it was directly under the light, the light managed to penetrate the hood enough to still illuminate the helmet. Well, now it's below where the light is. It's on the next level down. Mm-hmm. It just wasn't getting any light whatsoever with the hood on, so I took the hood off.
Oh, okay. So it was a lighting
issue. It does look better with
the
hood. I agree.
Yeah, it looked sharp. I thought that was a great, unique way to display it.
Yeah. I may put it back on. I may rearrange them again. Yeah, but I like to have the white helmets under the lights directly.
Yeah, it helps diffuse the light and get it further down, because like I said, looks great. Looks great.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and you know what, Brandon is discovering the same thing that you and I have discovered. These Black Series helmets, especially for what you pay for them, and that Mando helmet that they did recently.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the way they did that to make it look like metal, that was just off the chain. I was impressed. Hey,
sorry, I've got that one. I've got.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, and I like how they did the inside of that one too. I showed it on my video. It looks like there's like electronics and things built on the inside.
Still there, Paul?
Yeah, can you hear me? So for those of you who are just joining us, Luke's having some internet issues today, and we've just been power through them. So can you hear me, Luke? We'll keep going here until until Luke comes back. Can you hear me, Luke? Hey, Gord, it's good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. Luke's got that UK internet problem going on over there. And blacked out. Yeah, you're right. Shepperton Design Studios they come up a lot, actually. And I think you can actually buy stuff from them still, because he had a legal issue with Lucasfilm, and they worked all through that. Can you hear me yet, Luke? I think we might be losing Luke here. I get Chris. Yeah, he needs to. The gerbil needs to run faster or something, right? Oh, there goes Luke. All right, so this is a one-man show for now. So we're going to get into where I get a lot of information from my helmets, because as people often ask, hey, where did you get those? Or what did you pay? Or what are they made out of? And I think we've touched on that, but how do I find out whether or not especially private vendors, whether or not they are going to be trustworthy or not. And as I mentioned earlier, collecting helmets is more about the research and the journey, except for Black Series. You can just buy those, no problem. Than it is actually getting the helmet. The getting the helmet is the end of the journey. So I have some groups that I'm a part of that I take, that I get a lot of information from, and I do a lot of talking to other helmet collectors. Luke, can you hear me yet?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Paul. Sorry, I don't know what happened there.
No, that's okay. Christian said you need to charge up your generator.
I need to put 50p in it, definitely.
Make the gerbil run faster or something.
It's Rachel.
Yeah, okay. Put her on the treadmill and hook a line into it, right into your computer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, so while you were gone, I was talking about how collecting helmets, especially for me, because you've made a lot of yours, it's more about the journey than it is the actual get. The get is awesome, but you have to do a lot of research and make sure that you're not going to, fall victim to a scam or something. Are you part of any Facebook or chat groups of other helmet collectors where you exchange ideas and information?
You know what? I've only just recently gone back. I've not been on Facebook for a lot of years, and I've only just recently gone back on there, mainly for toy groups. And strangely, now you've said it, it seems absurd that I am part of quite a few toy groups on Facebook and no one-point groups. So if you're part of any, I may need an invite. But no, I'm not quite sure why I've not searched that. It seems a bit strange that I haven't. But yeah.
So for me, some of these groups have been a godsend, specifically when it comes to people that are selling on Facebook, warning you whether or not that's a scam or not. A friend of mine, well, not a friend, an acquaintance that I know quite a few months ago, it's like, I'm going to buy this helmet. It's going to come at a really great price. And before I could say, no, at that price, it's probably a scam, he'd already sent the money and lost his money. So I felt bad.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So the first one we're going to talk about here this is a Facebook group called Star Wars Buckets. And they were the first ones I joined, and great group, great admin. And all they literally talk about is just Star Wars helmets. And they're really good about showing off. Hey, I got this today here. Check out this helmet. Hey, these guys are great and stuff like that. And you can also sell and buy in that group as well. And they're really good about weeding out scam artists if they show up like that. So if you want to get some good information, I can highly recommend them. The other one,
look for that.
Absolutely. There is, then there's these guys. Let me, their logo is kind of plain, but you'll know what you're looking for here. This is Star Wars Helmet Collectors is the name of this group. And that's just the logo. Same thing with the Buckets group. Great group of guys, real professional, not a whole lot of screaming. I'm part of a couple of other Facebook collecting groups that I won't mention, that it's a lot of complaining and screaming and yelling, and that just doesn't go on in this group. So like I said, Star Wars Helmet Collectors is the name of this one. And then there's one other Facebook group and then a website that I want to mention. This last one, it's more of a general one, because they do Star Wars helmets, props, and costumes. So this is pretty good because it's not just helmets. Sometimes you'll see like, Tusken Raider stuff and like the lightsabers. So if you get a chance, and every time I've had a question, or every time somebody has asked a question, everybody just jumps in and helps, because the last thing you can do is make a snap decision when you're paying $200, $300, $700 for one of these helmets. Would you agree with me on that, Luke?
Absolutely, yeah. Like I say, I'm quite lucky that I've not yet had a bad experience, and generally the helmets I pick up now are Black Series, so you're pretty safe with those. You know that's not an issue. But when I was buying, especially the guy that we started dealing with the cast helmets through eBay, private seller, we were very cautious to start with, which is why we just bought the one at the beginning, rather than go, well, look at this, we can get these for £30, we could get 10 for £300. Let's do it. We literally started with one because we know it's a little bit like Wish. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but Wish, which I'm sure a lot of people have heard of. I know a few friends that have sent me links to Star Wars helmets on Wish. The images look fantastic, and I've said, look, and the Boba Fett helmet, the image that they're using looks amazing, and then the price is £30. So look, you're not going to get an amazing helmet. The helmet you receive will not be that helmet in that picture. Not for that price. Not for that price. Yeah. And they send me the link going, Luke, look at this. What a great price for this helmet. Look at that helmet. What a great price. It will not be that helmet. Do not buy it. So, it is. You've got to be careful.
Yeah. And I will tell you, I'm glad you brought that up, because except for the Black Series helmets, if you can find a helmet for less than $200, and even in the $200 to $250 range, I'd be very skeptical, because most of these private vendors, it's above 200. If it's below that, you're either going to get like a rubber plastic face mask, like someone was talking about earlier, and that's not what they showed you, or it's a straight scam and they're out there. So be very, very wary. And I'm like Brandon, I won't order anything from Wish at all. I don't even go on there.
No. I think I bought one thing in the past from Wish, and luckily it worked out. It was exactly what I hoped it was going to be, but generally, no.
Yeah. The last internet site I wanted to talk about, this is an actual website. It's called Star Wars Helmets, the archive of helmets and costumes from the Star Wars galaxy. This has been an immeasurable information resource for me when it comes to looking at helmets, not so much vendors, but getting an idea of what a helmet is supposed to look like, where it came from, what some of the pedigree is, and things like that. So if you get a chance, stop by there as well, because the more education when it comes to buying these helmets you have, the better, I think, opportunity you have of enjoying helmet collecting, because it ain't like picking up figures. Am I right, Luke?
No, yeah, it is. It's again though. I mean, you're teaching me a lot tonight. Again, that's not a website that I've visited, but I mean, I generally just Google a lot of things, and I Google the movie images, and I used to study the movie images, because we all know, the original helmets were never perfectly symmetrical. They were never perfectly finished. They were all handmade, and I quite like. I mean, when we were getting these B grade helmets, I love the fact that they weren't perfectly symmetrical. I love the fact that they looked a bit rough here and there, that the eye shapes were the same on both sides, because that's how, for me, it added to the authenticity. So what I used to do was study just movie images and zoom in on them and look at what the eye shapes were like, what the greeblers were like. Is that accurate? Is the other accurate? So I got a lot of ridicule in our house for doing that, but one of those things. Sat on my phone all night just looking at pictures of helmets, zooming in on the eyes and things like that. But yeah.
Right. Yeah. You look around the room and realize, okay. Yeah, everybody's staring at me. Yep.
Yeah, everyone's staring. Yeah. What are you looking at? Nothing.
Right. Yeah, nothing at all. Hey, Luke, I wanted to touch on one more subject before I'm going to do what I call our requests section here. But you and I have lit our cabinets two completely different ways. Can you talk about where you got those puck lights, how much you paid for them, how you installed them, and how easy they were to install, and whether or not you like them, please? Yeah.
So again, I buy a lot off eBay. These were from eBay. I bought them as a pack of 6, so they came in one pack, and I think they were really well priced. I think I paid like just over £15 for the pack. As you can see, they're hardwired, they're not batteries. Luckily, you'll know this, Paul, that at the top of the detolfs, there is a purpose-made hole for the wire to go back and then up through, so it comes out of the top of the cabinet. So the wire is literally straight up across the back and up the top. So you can then hide the wire behind the cabinet. The ones halfway down were a little bit more tricky. I do need to readdress them, to be honest. But again, the lights are stuck, just a self-adhesive puck light to the glass underneath of the glass shelf. But then I've had to trace the wire, same as the top, across the back, across the underneath of the shelf. But luckily, because there's a helmet on the shelf above, you don't see the wire. But I've then had to purchase separately some self-adhesive, like tiny clip cable ties, if you like. There are quite literally little plastic self-adhesive claws, for the lack of a better term, that you would then clip the wire into. That has run all the way across the back. Then I have run the wire across to the side of the unit, and then down the back of, the grey frame, and then run it down the back of the grey frame, and then, like you, drilled a hole in the bottom of the detolf as well, and out of the bottom, and then into the power point. So if you were to get on your hands and knees and look directly into the lower half of the cabinet, you would see the wires, but you can't really see them unless you actually get your head in there.
Okay. And are you happy with how that came out? Could you recommend doing it that way?
Yes. if you, I would recommend it. It is good. However, I'm probably going to alter it because what I've found is these self-adhesive clips, for some reason, do tend to lose their stickiness quite quickly. Some stick really well. I don't know if it's something to do with the glass gets greasy. Some stick really well, and then others tend to come away. So what I am going to do is, it's maybe not the best, but I think it will work better, is I've got some grey PVC tape, and it's the same grey as the frame. So I'm going to again run the wire down the back of the grey frame and then just put a little loop of tape around the frame. So you shouldn't see it, and it will hold the wire much better, and you won't be able to see it. But it works fine, but for some reason the adhesive sometimes does wear off the clips.
Oh, okay. So I'll talk about how I did mine really fast. Here, let me bring this up. I actually got a screenshot. So these are the ones that I used. They're called Lighting Ever LED strips, and you can get them in the cool white or that what do you, that yellowish white. These are the cool white ones.
Yeah, warm white, I think, isn't it?
Oh, warm white. Thank you. Warm white and cool white. I prefer the cool white because it looks crisper to me. But I got these. They, as you can see, they come out in a roll of tape, and they come with a dimmer, and they're just literally like adhesive. You just pull the tape or the backing off of them. And what I did on mine is I did a video on how I did this, but for those that may not have seen it, let's do this. Nope, that's not what I want to do. I'm good at this, Luke, I promise. There we go. So if you look in the background at mine, if you look at Luke's, he has like a gradient, which I think is really dynamic and cool looking. Whereas mine, they're all the same. There's just the same amount of light. So what I did is there's these gray poles that go up and down each of the DTOFs. So I drilled a hole in the bottom, ran the cord up through it, taped all the way up the gray pole across the top, which is the only place you should be able to see the lights a little bit, and then right back down the other pole here on all three of them, and then ran them into a power strip, which plugs into the wall, which is attached to the light switch. So when I turn the light switch on, all three of them come on all at once. And I can, also this was a little bit more difficult because you have to lay them down and take everything out and open up the doors and lean the doors against something, unless you do it while you're building them, which I wish I had done. But that works well also. I get a lot of compliments on that. And I was worried that sticky, those sticky LEDs might come off of the gray poles, but they've been up there for the first one I did like a year ago now, I think, or something like that. And they're still stuck on there perfectly. And the LEDs work great. And like I said, there's dimmers on there. So, and that's another cost-effective, easy way to light your DTOF cases as well. So there's two different options. You get an idea. Mine looks silly right now because I took a bunch of my helmets out. But if you look at how Luke did it and look at how I did it, depending on what you're going for, you got a couple of good options there. Yours just, like I said, Luke, I've said it a bunch of times. That really came out great. It looks nice.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy, and like I say, I mean, the only reason why I steered away from the discussion we'd had, because I intended to light mine identically to yours, because I saw yours and thought they looked fantastic, it was purely because I just decided in the end I want to keep the lights all the same through the room. I am really happy with it, but I love the way you've done yours as well, really do.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to touch on one more vendor. And like I said, then we'll move to the request section. Sorry about that. I forgot about these guys, and I wanted to mention them. There's a company. It's an English. No. I think they're English or Americans, but they're based in China. So it's not a Chinese company, but they're called Imperial Boots. And for all of your everything but armor, all soft goods, belts, gloves, boots, hats, the greeblies for those things, the clothes that go underneath, the shirts, the pants, these guys. Absolutely stellar. I have, and I did I think it showed up in some of my Twitter feeds. I didn't do an unboxing video, but down underneath, you can't quite see it. I have an Imperial officer's hat with the greebly, and then a belt with the greebly, and a commander plaque on like a little black head as a little display for an officer. And I got all of that stuff from Imperial Boots, and great price. Great, good quality 501st ready approvable stuff. So if you need any soft goods or things like that, these would be the go-to guys that I would use, and I can recommend, and had a great experience with them. All right. So Luke, if you're cool with it, and I don't know what kind of, oh, you know what, really quick. Thank you very much, Christian. I do. I appreciate that. Oh, that was what I was going to ask you, Luke. Are you going to do a video on how you lit yours really fast, or like an overview or something?
Yeah, I think, who was it? I think it was Dudes Nerdery mentioned that to me as well. If I'm honest, I've not even thought about doing a video on the lighting. I'm not sure I've got enough charisma to make a video about lighting interesting. However, yeah, you're not the first person to mention it, so I could do. I'm just trying to think how I would do it and make it interesting. But as long as I show the helmets, I suppose people will watch it, right?
Absolutely. You've seen my. You watched my video on lighting. It was terrible, and it's one of my best.
Yeah,
I have like 10,000 views on that thing or something. So.
Yeah, no, I suppose it. Yeah, now you're the second person to say it. Yeah, I probably will do something, and as long as I can make it interesting, yeah. But it is something that didn't occur to me, to be fair.
Well, I tell you, like I said, I get lots of questions. It's one of the biggest topics. One of my most popular videos, and I didn't even plan for that, is how to light these cabinets. And I have never seen the way you've done before. So quick 2 to 3 minutes of, hey, this is where I put the puck. This is where the cord went down and stuff like that. I think people would appreciate that, Luke, and you should look into doing something like that. Yeah,
I absolutely will. I think I'll just readdress the wiring on the second set, on the lower set of lights, and then I'll do that, definitely.
Yeah, and I tell you, Christian, down in the comments there, he's looking at lighting his detofs. I don't know if you've seen his collection, Luke. I think you have. I want to see the video on that, because he's going to have to pull all of those figures out of there to do his lighting, and that's going to be a heck of a chore.
Yeah. And his collection is so diverse as well, and you know, some of the amount of figures he's got in those cabinets, and the good thing about Christian's setup is he's got so much stuff in those cabinets, yet he's maximized it so that it still looks great. The presentation still looks fantastic. And he's got so much stuff in there, which I don't think that's easy to do. I don't think it's easy to get so much stuff in those cabinets and it still look good and well presented. And Christian's done that. So yeah, be nice to have to see him empty everything.
Yeah. So his Empire shelf with all the stormtroopers is a thing of beauty. And you know who else? Both he and you mentioned him earlier, a Dude's Nerdery has all of his 6-inch figures placed in there to maximize space. And that, man, wow, just the patience that must take. I can barely get myself to put the helmets back and do them right. So wow.
Yeah, I think Dude's just bought another 3D tops as well, hasn't he? Has he got like 6 lined up now or something?
Yeah, he bought like 4 all at once and set them up all along the wall. It just looks spectacular.
Yeah, I've not seen it yet, but I know he's got some. I'll do that, Brandon. I'll do it. I will do a video.
Yeah, if you look at some of the comments on mine, people are like, I saw 12 videos on how to light these shelves, and none of them made any sense or were easy enough for me to do or came out nice, and except for yours when talking about my video. So thank you so much. And I was like, I've never been more flattered in my life. So Luke, I love the way yours came out. You got to throw something up for people so that they can replicate that.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I will. I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll address the wiring on the second set, and I'll definitely put one out.
Perfect. Yeah. And Christian, not looking forward to having to empty them out, but I can't wait to see the video on it.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so we're going to wind this down, Luke, but I have one last thing I want to do. And you don't have to participate if you don't want to, but I think you're cool. That I'd like to ask anybody that's still with us in the chat if they have any video or any helmets that are in your case or any helmets in my case that are left that they'd like to see up close. I have all my cases open. Sure. I'd be happy to go grab it and bring it over. So I have all 4 iterations of the Stormtrooper. Down below is the Black Series. You can't see on mine. Down here is the Black Series Shadow Trooper, but you can see the rest of them. That's a TIE Pilot. And for those or ones that I've shown earlier, just put in the comments if there's a helmet that you'd like to see up close to get a better look at. This is the one and only time that I don't mind, and forgive the term, that I don't mind finger banging my helmets for you. So I'd be happy to bring them over. But
yeah, I think the only 2 I've not got. I don't know if you can see the bottom row of the helmets actually, but I've got a Kylo Ren and a custom Boba Fett on the bottom row, and I've got a Black Series Boba Fett and Mandalorian that you can't see as well. So if anybody wants to see those, by all means.
Perfect. So we're gonna start with Dave. So Dave, this is what I use for stands for my helmet. And forgive me for a second, Luke, I'm going to do this thing again here. This is nothing more than a paper towel holder. You just put paper towels on there, and these little things just pop right off like that. And that's what I use. And I have found that I don't even have to put anything on top of this. The helmets will go right on there. Now, if I move the cabinets around, they'll spin a little bit because I like to have mine at a little bit of an angle. So if you want to stop that, maybe put like a rubber ball or something on there. But these are all I use. And I get these. Do you guys have Costco in the United Kingdom, Luke? Or no?
Well, not that company, but we do have similar stores. Yeah.
Okay. These come from Costco.
I've got a similar one that Dave will be able to help with.
Okay. So while he's getting that, Dave, these come from a company here called Costco, and my wife buys them in bulk when they're like maybe less than $20 a piece. So
do you mind if I just jump in on this as well, Paul?
Yeah, go. Yeah, please. By all means. That's why we're here.
Because Dave will be able to get. So I got before I realized it wouldn't work, I got the same thing from a place called Wilco's, which Dave will know. But then I also got some decals, cut the center out, and put an Empire badge around the base.
Oh, so that's brilliant.
Will work. And that's just a white plastic kitchen towel holder that was like 99p.
Nice.
So, but it was too tall in the end, but you'll be able to get a smaller one, I'm sure.
Yeah, because if you're going to put them in Detox, there is a limited amount of space. So those are the stands we're using, Dave, if that helps any for you. We have our first request here, Luke. Brandon wants to see the Inferno, if you don't mind grabbing that. And he wants to see my phase one. So I'm going to go grab my phase one real quick.
Okay. This guy's heavy.
Are you there, Luke? Luke, can you hear me?
Again, that way.
Can you hear me, Luke? We've been fighting Luke's internet connection. So, Brandon, while Luke is coming back, this is my phase one. This came from Dave's Armory from Italy. And as you can see, it came weathered. And it's kind of a matte finish, as if it's been used in combat for a while. But all of this, this is all cut in down here. This is all cut in over here. This is painted right in here. You can see the painting. And we lost Luke again there. And then the mouthpiece is painted right in here. But underneath there, you can see that's painted. Now, I think I never tried to put this one on. I think my head might fit in there, but then again, it might not. Let's see if we can get Luke back in here again. And then on the back, the most important part is they have the good red LED thing up there. It's just a little like a plastic reflector. But yeah, this is all three-dimensional, all printed. And this is a cast. I don't have any 3D printed helmets like Luke does. This was just a cast. And on the inside, as you can see, like I said, you can see he signed it. Dave's Army number 423, and it's completely unfinished. Most of these private vendors will send you helmets and they're unfinished, so you have to put your own padding and stuff in there if you want to wear it. Luke, can you hear me now?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, you're up on the Inferno Trooper.
Okay. So I don't know. Hopefully you can see this. With it being black, it does sometimes struggle to come through. But I love the fact that the decals are asymmetrical. So you've got the Inferno Squad badge on one side, Imperial badge on the other. But then on this side, it's just all black. Red. I think the red lenses. Once the light hits the red lenses, I think they look amazing. And then obviously the red detail on this side. The one thing I'm missing though, you'll notice there's no greeblies in the front. I'm really struggling to find something accurate to put in those holes there. They should have some aerators or some mic tips. And I'm struggling to find something accurate. But very much obviously TIE Fighter. Then they've got the grey Mohican over the top. But everything on this helmet, I mean, the decals are, again, from eBay, and I installed them myself. Eye lenses were from a company in London called, I think it was the Jedi store, and they're solid lenses. They're not soft. Sometimes they're soft. But everything you see on this helmet, the paint, the hand painting, I did all myself. This literally came as a raw cast.
Wow,
no, there is a liner in it as well. I did wear this. Wow. Thank you. Yeah, there is a liner in it because I did wear this to a Comic-Con because I've got, I have made an Inferno Squad outfit as well. So
nice. So Luke, where does your TIE Pilot helmet come from?
I don't have one. TIE Pilot. I don't have a TIE Pilot helmet currently, unfortunately.
I didn't think that you did. So Cyrus Speed wanted to see your TIE Pilot helmet, but I think that's what he was talking about. He wanted to, I think he was talking about the Inferno as well.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, it's the closest one.
Okay.
And it's something I need to add.
Papa Gord wants to see the Patrol Trooper helmet. This is another private vendor. This came from Brandford Studios, who I talked about earlier. These are currently available and for sale. Last time I checked a couple of days ago, and just about $200. And this is a heavy fiberglass helmet with black. That's either black fiberglass or it's black painted, but everything's backwards on here. But this one is a great quality helmet, Papa. These are three-dimensional, like they're like stickers on here. So the decals make it a little bit more three-dimensional. These are cut in down here. And if you go around the helmet, you can see that it even has the classic screws from like the Stormtrooper helmets right here. But he's painted in the black details on it. These are all painted in and everything like that. The grill on this, as I understand, or the tubes on this, as I understand it, are not screen accurate. I think that's supposed to be white in there, but for as often and as much as you see this guy on screen, no one's ever said anything to me about that. No one cares. This is the extra piece on the head up here is molded right in. It's not even an extra piece. It's part of the actual helmet. And then down here, they did a phenomenal job on the mouthpiece. And then once again, absolutely unfinished inside. If you want to wear it, you have to put some stuff in there. But I can highly recommend this helmet, especially at the price, if you're interested in that, Gord. And like I said, Brandford Studios, and they're still selling them right now. Just great stuff. Got to get you one of those, Luke.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, thanks, Dave. You know what? That's what I've discovered with, I spent so much money on the helmets. I didn't want to spend a lot of money on the stands too. So we got those really inexpensive paper towel holders.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, there's only one in stock now. He just checked. Yeah. So I think he might be, Cyrus Speed might be talking about the Patrol Trooper helmet. So yeah, if you want to grab one of those, what a great price too. Like I said, $200. Normally I'd be a little leery. That seems a little low, but I bought from this guy before for that price, and the helmet came great shape, great quality. So if you get a chance.
Wow.
Luke, I tell you, man, I appreciate you joining me today. This has been a lot of fun.
Absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
You know what? And I appreciate you powering through with your internet too. That was because you got to have a lot of patience to deal with it. So I'm good on you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I apologize if it's been a bit iffy this evening. It's something I'm gonna have to look at because I've noticed it on a few streams now. So yeah. So I appreciate you putting up with it.
No problem. And you're a popular guy, man. So yeah, you got to get that internet working so we can bring you on a lot of live streams because people love you and they want to talk to you.
Thank you. Oh, shucks. Stop it.
Well, I like you, and that's really all that counts. How about that? Okay.
Thank you. No, thank you. No, we're very lucky that we're involved in a fantastic community that is just has, so many fantastic people. When I started the channel, it was something that I just wanted to do for a little bit of fun and hope that I meet some great people, and I'm very lucky that I've done that. And yeah, we're lucky to be part of it, all of us.
I tell you, I can absolutely second that. When I did that first unboxing video on the Anovos armor, I had no idea that 3-4 years later I would be meeting guys in the UK like yourself and a bunch of other people.
Absolutely,
and
same.
It's been awesome. So unless I missed anything, Luke, or you had anything else you wanted to add, I'm probably going to go ahead and wind us down.
No, you've covered everything, Paul. Absolute pleasure. I appreciate you asking me to come on.
Absolutely. And I wanted to thank everybody that we had in the chat tonight. I was just too many people to go through by name, but so many great people stopped by, and I appreciate the interaction and asking questions. And I was really looking forward to having an excuse to mess around with my helmets and show them on camera, because as helmet collectors, you know, we're like proud parents. We want to show you our babies. So thank you so much for giving us that opportunity as well.
No, I mean, if anybody wants to see anything else, you know, get hold of DM me or anything. If you want to see any of the helmets that I've not showed tonight, by all means, get in touch.
Absolutely. Luke, where can people find you on social media?
I'm everywhere all of a sudden. So you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all under Reynolds Reviews. So yeah, you'll find me on one of those, no doubt.
Okay. The best place to start is Luke has a great YouTube channel. I think pretty much everybody in the chat here, save a couple, know about Luke's channel, but it's linked down below in the description. So go over there, give him a subscription if you are not already subscribed. Check out his videos. He's got a much better collection than I do, and he displays it in a way that just makes my OCD sing. It's beautiful. Your room is beautiful, Luke. So
thank you. No, thank you. No, I appreciate it. Again, same. I always look at your room and I'm very envious. Yeah, look, no, it's really good.
Well, that's why I love YouTube, because we can check out each other's collections and be a half a world away. So it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's and it, you know, it brings people together, doesn't it? This is, you know, this hobby, this pastime, passion. It, you know, it brings people together, and I take a lot of inspiration from other people's collections in the room. So it's fantastic.
Absolutely. So we have a tradition here, Luke, that when we end a live stream or a video on Paul's Collectibles,
yep,
we hit everybody with a thumbs up, and we tell them we're going to see them on the next video.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we'll see you on the next video.